Welcome to the India Joy Influencer Con 2021.
Hey guys, welcome to InfluencerCon. InfluencerCon 2021 is the fourth edition of InfluencerCon, and this is an initiative that's been triggered by Among, and we are happy to get started. We have most eminent personality, a stand-up comedian, Atul Khatri ji, who will be gracing the occasion to get started.
I want to say that this pandemic has changed so many things for everybody, especially the comedians, because we actually have to be with the audience to get connected with the audience. But there are so many things we have unlearned and learned new things. What were your challenges that you faced during the pandemic, and what is the takeaway as a comedian?
So first of all, when the pandemic started, we all realized that, maybe for a very, very long time, we will not be able to perform on stage. Okay, because ours is a live art form, art form where we say jokes, we require immediate, instant gratification from the crowd in terms of laughter, in terms of claps and things like that. And also our industry is very, very small. If the government had to open up, there are much more, bigger industries like Bollywood, like cinema, and so we knew that we would be going on stage after a very, very long time. So we had to quickly adapt to that. And one of the ways which we sort of adapted to that, like I very quickly went on to do these online shows. So online shows for us was very difficult. We have never done online shows. So going on Zoom and trying to do an online show and learning that itself was a big learning for us, because I remember the pandemic started roughly around 15th of March or so, and by 2nd April I announced my first show on Zoom. I went and bought lights. We understood Zoom, how it's going. I said, let's jump into it. Only when you jump into the water can you learn swimming. And thankfully, I started doing these shows very, very frequently on Zoom by selling tickets and things like that. So obviously some money started coming in. And so in terms of the in terms of the pure stand-up shows, I started as early as April. We started doing shows, and I'm thankful to that because of which I could adapt to this technology and understand how to successfully conduct a stand-up show on Zoom or on a virtual background. So that was one kind of learning I did. The second learning which I did was, I'm an old man. I like to keep myself busy. I can't, seeing myself idle or sitting and binge watching on Netflix or some OTT platform. And so I like a routine to my life every day. I like to shave in the morning. I like to have a bath. So I started something called as these Only Positive News, which was on my social media. Which was I was delivering this 7-8 minute segment every day, talking about whatever positive news happening in the around us. To try to spread some kind of positivity, because at that time you will remember it was so negative, the environment. You open the news, you open your WhatsApp, you open your newspaper, everything, there was just negative news, so much uncertainty was there. So I kept myself busy, and I think the one thing which I learned is always keep yourself busy, because if you get idle, I genuinely believe as they say, a devil is what is it? What's that saying? I forget. An idle mind, the devil's workshop. Yeah. So I didn't want to do that. So there was a lot of learning at it, and unlearning also in terms of to get away from going on stage and performing virtually.
Yeah. And another thing is that during this pandemic, one of the biggest support that anybody could get is from your family. So like you said, you have been doing videos from home. I've seen some of your sketches that you've done from home. So how did you convince your family to help you through that process?
So it was. So I think they were also quite busy. Free that time. They had no work to do, so they were very willingly, sort of joining me in my work, especially my daughters and my wife. And they get very scared. They're very camera shy. So at least my younger daughter is, and my wife is. My elder daughter is also in a way some kind of an influencer. So she's absolutely going in front of a camera. But but it was fun convincing them and trying to make some scripts. And I think just because we were free, rather than playing Ludo with them, I thought, well, let's make some videos.
Did you pay them?
No, no, are you mad? Who pays your family members?
You got sponsored for sure for that, so I thought you would give them something.
No, no,
Okay.
no. So it was okay. No, you don't pay your family members. They're part of your family. That's why they're called family.
I would have asked my dad for sure if he was doing something like this. So, yeah. So, I've seen so many comedians getting into writing, getting into web series. Do you have some plans? I've seen your advertisement when you were doing with Manoj Bajpayee on Family Man. That was very good. So, what's coming? Is there anything, any new gigs?
As part of being in the comedy fraternity, we are writers, so we do get a lot of writing opportunity. We do get sometimes opportunity to write for ads, to write for to punch up a film script or to punch up a film show, award show, and things like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of us comedians, we keep on getting that job. In terms of specifically a web series, currently I have no plans to make a web series. I have some few ideas about some new shows which I want to come up with, but as far as a web series in terms of see, I come from a very different background. I was actually a CEO of an IT company. I got into stand-up comedy. So I'm not like one of these young filmmakers, or I don't have really aspiration to, honestly, to make a movie or to make some web series, to direct it or to, basically this. But definitely, I would love to be a part of, writing process because I love writing, and I think that's yeah. So a lot of new things are on the plan. Something with some OTT platforms. So I would say last 18 months, I had a small appearance on an Amazon show. I did something. I had recently a show has come out from Amazon called One Mic Stand, where
Oh, yeah, yeah. I seen
we were
that. Yeah.
teaching celebrities, where I was mentoring Faye D'Souza. So a lot of these things come up, and I'm sure a lot of these things will keep on coming in the future. Ideas just to be busy, to be
On
out
that,
there. Yeah. Sorry.
sorry. On that note, you just mentioned that gamers are getting into comedy, actors are getting into comedy. So looks like comedy is so easy these days. What is your take on that? Do you feel threatened? Like sub comedy karne aa gaye?
No, no, it's okay. The more the merrier, I
Okay.
think it's okay as long. But the thing is, see, doing a one-off show and all is okay. But I'm telling you, doing sustained basis comedy is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
difficult because writing jokes has become more and more difficult. I would say it looks very easy. I mean, I take it as a compliment whenever somebody says, "Hey, comedy looks so easy." But I
Yes.
know how difficult it is to write original jokes, get onto stage, make people laugh. Making people cry is very easy. Making them laugh is very difficult. Let me tell you. So, it
Yeah,
may
that's
look
true.
appear. It may look. Some of these shows, there are writers which write for all these celebrities and things like that. So when Karan Johar goes up on stage and does comedy, obviously there's a lot of writing which is done by comedians like us
Yeah.
to do that. But yeah, their own personality on stage is theirs. That you can't take away. That you cannot, replicate it. But yeah, I think doing comedy on a sustained basis is a very very serious and difficult job. Let me tell you.
Yeah, and initially, when if someone wants to get into comedy, they go to open mics. But these days, due to pandemic, I mean, there's hardly any open mics these days. So now that we have to adapt to all these things, what is that you would advise to upcoming comedians? How do you think they should start up? Like how to build that profile? What can you recommend
See,
something?
see, Asha, as we speak right now, the comedy clubs have started opening up. Like live shows have started opening up.
Okay.
So it was in the last 18 months when there was no live shows happening. So there were a lot of open mics also happening virtually. Just like how comedy shows were happening virtually, open mics were also
Oh,
happening virtually. Yeah. But the thing was, obviously, doing an open mic where you're testing new jokes for the first time is very difficult in a virtual environment.
true.
But now, as things have started opening up, I will recommend to people. I have some two three very basic advice I give all young comedians. Number one is, when I say young means upcoming comedians, is number one is they should go and watch a lot of live comedy happening. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of comedians do is that they sit in home and watch Netflix. They watch these big American comedians who are performing, who've been doing comedy for 40 years. They're performing in America or the UK, where it's a very different audience. Audience is more accepting of any kind of joke over there. But in India, you have to be careful to the sensitivity. So go and watch what comedy is, what people are liking. So first of all, go watch live comedy. Second, write original stuff. Don't copy jokes from anybody else. And third is keep on hitting the mic as much as you can. The more you hit more and more mics, you will, or rather, more and more stages you go on to, you'll get more obviously comfortable with your work.
Okay. And is there any kind of comedy that you would restrict yourself? Like there are people who do not want to get into politics or religious kind of stuff. So do you actually restrict yourself in writing those kind of content?
No, I really don't restrict myself in writing, but as I say that you have to be aware of the audience. You have to understand that the stand-up comedy scene in India is very young. It's just 10 years old. Okay. In the US, it is 80 years old, 100 years old in the US,
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah.
So they're right from school, colleges, they're exposed to stand-up comedy. They're okay to laugh at each other, you know. But here, it's a new art form. You know, till today, when we perform in a city like Mumbai, and you ask the audience that how many of you are watching stand-up comedy for the first time, you'll be surprised to see that 50% of the hand people raise their hands. You know, so people, as more and more people start watching comedy, as comedy becomes more and more older in this country, I think then it'll be okay to talk about some other topics. But right now, I would say that I first of all don't write jokes which I'm myself not comfortable about. You know, like I don't understand religion much, to be honest with you. I'm not a religious person. I don't understand religion much. So unless I'm an expert on it, unless I have a great opinion about it, unless I have a joke about it, I will do it. But when I don't know about anything, how do I talk about it? You know. So that's why I talk more about my wife and children because I know them very well.
That's I know. So I've been in these comedy workshop in my past few months back. So they were saying that it's not safe to have a self-deprecating comedy because it takes a toll on your psychologically. So what do you have to say about that?
No. I think the fact that you're coming first of all on stage and you're trying to become a comedian, first of all, there's something basically wrong with you, because going up on stage, telling your life stories, talking about your vulnerabilities on stage requires a lot of guts, I would say. You know,
I know.
so. And I don't think so. Unless then I think you have to take some kind of a mental health help from somebody in case you're going through those issues. But I think it's absolutely okay. You know, when somebody makes sometimes some trolls, get back to us and say, "Hey, you Chhatri," instead of Khatri. I said, dude, this joke was made to me in second standard. You know, I've gone through that. Please say it, no problem. You know, people say you're old. People call me uncle. People call I'm fat. Whatever. I said it's okay. I make these jokes on myself. My wife makes it on me every day. So somebody else telling me, I think self-replicating any comedian should be very absolutely okay to take jokes on himself or herself. You know, and without any this. You know, like sometimes people write nasty things to us on social media, and I said, yeah, this is like this is like hardly anything. You know, come on, get better, write more nasty things. You know.
That's content for you for the next show, apparently. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think first of all, comedians have to take a chill pill. They have to obviously learn to take jokes on themselves, and I think self-deprecating is absolutely okay. Yes, but you have it. You have to. If it's affecting you, then you better go and see a psychologist.
Yeah, that's great. So, uh, yeah. So what's happening? What's your next? Is there any new show that's happening in Hyderabad, or so that we could
No, I
watch
think.
you?
No, I just actually performed in Hyderabad specifically, but live shows are starting. In fact, I am going for a tour to UK by the end of the month. So I will be in UK and Ireland. Oh, you've gone away, but I'll answer your question in any case. I think you had a bad connection. So I'm going to be in UK and Ireland from 25th November to. You're back. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about
No
that.
problem. So I was just saying that I have some live shows. I have a live tour coming in UK from end of the month to mid of December. So
Okay.
I'm there for 6 shows, and then I have some shows in Mumbai. And as I come back and as things are going to open up, we'll have more and more shows across India. You know, yeah.
That's
So last 18 months we've been sitting at home. Now we are all raring to go out and do
I
live
know.
shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So. So that's so some rapid questions though. So when you initially
Sure.
started off with, left your job and came back and told your parents or family members that you want to do stand up, and I'm sure that your family must have told no. How did you convince them?
No. So
Is
first of
there
all,
like
let me tell you, I was 44 years old when I did my first open mic. And yes, my family, my wife and children are very cool about it. I have parents, my senior citizens, so dad and mom was slightly apprehensive that what are you doing? Why are you what is this new thing you have started? You know, and they were a little worried also. So what happened is around 2000, I started in 2012. In 2014, I took my parents for a show. Okay, and they came for the show for the first time. They don't understand English much, but they enjoyed the show, and they saw people around me were laughing. And after the show, a lot of people came up to them and said, "Your son is doing a great job making people laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. It's a work of a doctor." So I sort of redeemed myself in front of their eyes, I think, for the first time in 2000, after 2 years of doing comedy. And this is the advice I give a lot of the young people out there, because sometimes our parents out there, I mean their parents out there, don't understand this new India. Okay, what is this comedy? Why will somebody pay you to go on stage and make jokes? You know, so it's very important for you to go expose them to what you're doing, and I'm sure they will understand it, because it's absolutely important for you to get your parents' approval. In case you're staying with them, and in case you are living with them, and this. So I think it's. I think the only. I don't think I really, honestly, I was lucky. I didn't get any objection from anybody or this. Sometimes in my office and all, they used to say that because I was working and as well as doing my job. So there, sometimes the concern was that it should not be that I should, my work should suffer because of stand-up comedy. So I used to do a lot of time management in terms of saying that whenever I'm at work, I do, it was like I was wearing a different hat. When I'm at work, I'm wearing a work hat. In the
Yeah,
evening,
yeah,
when I'm a comedian, I'm wearing a comedian's hat. So
yeah.
that was slightly difficult. You have to do crazy time management, and I think that was it, yeah. And I think as long as you really enjoy yourself, and that's it. So I 4 years I did both my work as well as stand-up comedy, and in 2016 I got full-time into comedy. I resigned from my job and got full-time into comedy. There also my parents and my wife family was very supportive, because I know I was getting from a very, I would say from a salary whether you do your work, you don't do your work, you get your salary, to now a freelancer job where if you have a show you have money, when you don't have a show you don't have money. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's always a concern for parents. What about financial stability and things like that? So
correct.
even I have a problem in convincing them. So yeah, it'll take time. So I keep telling mom, I'm just doing networking. It'll take time. 2 साल हो गए अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ ऐसा होता
Well,
है
next
सबको
time you should take your mom for one of these networking sessions or things like that. She'll appreciate what you're doing, and parents are sometimes the problem is India is changing very fast. There are new opportunities coming. There are new things which they don't understand. Like my parents could
Absolutely.
never understand that why would somebody pay you money to go up on stage and say jokes. So
Absolutely.
like that. So once they're convinced of that, I'm sure they will support you. Yeah. Finally, parents are looking for their children's success and happiness. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. So that's time. I think it's time, huh? And thank you so much, sir,
Thank you
for
so much.
being
Thank you so
here.
much, Asha. Thank you, everybody, and
You're,
all the best wishes to InfluencerCon. Thank you.
thank you so much. You have a
Bye
nice
bye.
day.
Take care. You too.